What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Oh my god!
What year is it?
2020?
No, what? What month?
July?
July. Coronavirus already happened? Has Space Force even been established yet?
I mean, I haven't officially transferred over yet. I mean, they have established it, but all they have right now is just the general-in-chief and some brand new lieutenants from the Air Force Academy.
What about the kangaroos?
Yeah, there was a lot of kangaroos. I mean, there's a lot that happened in 2020. Did the Covenant strike, Master Chief? Like, what happens? Is the human race in danger?
I'm not Master Chief.
I'm actually you from the future. Look. Wait, so you're from the future, but I'm still a tech sergeant? I did some things, all right? Like, I'm still an E6 in the future. Like, I never promote. Whatever, dude. Like, I just plateau. Anyway, it's too late for all that. Like, didn't they come out with new Space Force ranks or something that looks exactly the same as an Air Force tech sergeant? Hold on a second.
Yeah, Space Force Command. Yeah, we didn't hit the mark we were trying to get. Yeah, just go ahead and zap me back up. Yeah, just zap me back up.
Hey, you got a Chipotle here. They kind of go bankrupt in the future, and I was just wanting to get that. I mean, yeah, there's a Chipotle like right across the street. Don't you remember? All right, man. Thanks. Wait, I still have so many more questions. It's July, right? 2020. You just hit 4,000 subscribers, right? Yeah, that'd be pretty cool, though. Okay. When you PCS to Hawaii, though, just make sure that you don't do those surfing lessons. You get your leg bit off by a shark. This is actually it's robotic. So, all right, man. All right, but seriously, guys, thank you so much for getting me to 4,000 subscribers. To everyone that's been following me throughout the years, I really appreciate you guys and your support. For those of you that have not watched my videos, I have been in the space system operations career field in the Air Force for about 9 years now. So I'm pretty familiar with how we operate at the tactical level, being a junior enlisted and then being an NCO. Without further ado, let's just get straight into the video. There's a lot of information flowing down about the Space Force, so there are things we're still waiting on, such as the rank structure, a little more information about what we're going to call the bases, and a big thing too is the uniforms we're going to be wearing. So far, I think we got a lot of backlash for unveiling the Space Force uniforms as the camouflage OCP pattern that the Army and the Air Force uses. Now, a lot of people don't understand that space operations are done on a operations floor. We're not actually in space, so we're not trying to camouflage with space. Another thing is they already have the supply and the logistics of getting the uniforms for the Army and the Air Force, so we share that. So it would be a little more expensive just to make a different uniform for the Space Force because, I mean, two branches already share the same uniform, which is the Air Force and the Army. So when the Space Force becomes its real thing, which it kind of is slowly developing into, we're not going to need to make our own Space Force camouflage pattern. It's not going to be necessary. Would be cool. Back when I joined, we actually wore flight suits because that came from the origin of flying satellite is kind of like flying a plane. And then eventually Air Force Space Command was like, let's save some money and let's not do that and take away a little bit of the heritage that was taken away. And I understand why. We're really not flying an actual plane. We're not in the air. So we don't need the same fabric of a flight suit or the bomber jacket, even though that stuff was pretty cool. Unnecessary. And now we got OCPs, so it's all good. Anyway, let's get into the video. So I've been on the subreddit of Space Force on Reddit, And there's a lot of good ideas and people putting in their concepts of Space Force uniforms. Regarding the dress uniform, so if you've seen the Air Force dress uniform, I have to say it's probably the worst looking dress uniform out of all the branches. I would have to say we don't have that nice of a military uniform regarding our service dress because there's not really a lot of heritage in it. It just looks like one of those 90s business suits. Like not even fitted really, just kind of like your average 90s salesman, except there's rank on it. They're developing a new service dress. They'll hopefully show some Space Force heritage and will look hopefully better than the current Air Force service dress or dress blues. Today I'm going to go on Reddit and I'm going to look at a couple of these concepts. So the first one that we have here is made by Cosmo Potato 89, and you can see that it's pretty similar to actually the Marine dress blues. So it has that high collar, there's a belt there, and then they basically make this guy look like an Archer character. Then they have his bus cap, so that'd be definitely cooler than a flight cap. And that's something I can get with too. If you see on the sleeves, you have his rank, for that's an enlisted guy. And then they have the service stripes too at the bottom of the sleeve on the forearm area. And that's something the Air Force does not have currently right now. So I wouldn't be mad if we adopted this one. I think this is actually a pretty cool looking service dress. I know that there's been a lot of talk between whether we're going to go to the high collar for our service dress or just another suit looking thing. So this design right here is by Envy's Bro, and he actually did the whole concept of rank structure, so they look very naval, but we're going to be focusing on the uniform. So what he did on the left, you can see that he photoshopped those pinks and greens uniform that the Army recently got. So that's all black. There's been a little bit of backlash saying if we did go with an all black service dress like that, it's pretty similar to what the Germans wore in World War II. There's kind of a negative perception of getting an all black suit like that. I mean, it does look a little similar, but it's about making a heritage and making us our own thing apart from the Air Force. So that's why I think this would be a little cool to have. I do like the black. I think it'd be different, and the black really shows that, hey, we're Space Force. So I'm hoping we do that. And to the right, you see these, and these are pretty reminiscent to the Marine dress blues, like we were saying. There's no belt, but it's all black. This one is showing that I think that's a lieutenant. So he has the rank on his shoulder area instead of his sleeve. And I think that looks pretty clean as well. There's also a concept of the Space Force PT gear here. And it's just a normal gray shirt with black shorts. I think that's pretty clean. Maybe both black, like the Army would make sense. But either way, Space Force, PT, and we're probably not going to be the most fit branch. And then the last one I'm going to look at, I mean, there are a lot of concepts on this subreddit of Space Force. So if you were really interested in it, I would suggest going to the Space Force Reddit. There's a lot of creative minds. And there's also actual Space Force leadership that monitor that. So I'm hoping that they take into account some of these great ideas put out. A big Reddit user that has had a lot of influence is this guy named Aerosef. And he's been putting out rank concepts and dress concepts as well. And this one is really well put together. It's the United States Space Force service dress concepts. So there's 3 different designs. He has this tricolor design, below is the dress grays design, and then a black and gray design. So not exactly the black ones we were looking at earlier. This is a very detailed way of showing, what we could expect and something that we could do. So a lot of these have both breast pockets or 4 pockets on the actual jacket, and then you have your rank on the sleeve if you are an enlisted, and then your ranks on your shoulder if you are a officer. I don't believe these ones have belts. Yeah, these ones don't have belts. But the black and the gray and gray don't look too bad. I think I would prefer having just all black, but that's my personal preference. And then you had this guy, he's like, this is going to be a cool Space Force uniform, and then he just basically copy-pasted an ODST from Halo. And I can promise you, with years and years of experience in the space operations career field, you don't need armor or space armor or orbital drop shock trooper armor to work an 8 or 12-hour shift. You just don't. You might look cool. It might be cool when you stop at Starbucks, you know, going to work. Hey, can I just get like a Frappuccino tall? Yeah. Thanks for your support. Not necessary. Again, like I said, there are a lot of interesting concepts out there, and for the people that are making these concepts, I'm hoping leadership of Space Force is looking at these and getting ideas and not putting out some bland uniform, because there's something that a lot of us want to take pride in it. So, of course, when we do get our uniforms and they come out with the official ranks, official uniforms, and all that, I'll be one of the first people to get those and make sure that I put it in a video for you guys. I mean, whatever happens, the future is bright, guys. I mean, we're still waiting on what our uniforms are going to look like, what our rank is going to look like, what we're going to be called. You know, is it going to be Sentinels, Spacemen? We don't know. So once we get that information solidified, this will be the place for you guys to find it. This will be your one-stop space information or Space Force information channel. And again, thanks so much for the support, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them below. Y'all stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next video.